Basketball doesn't last forever, but the lessons do. I'm Nick Crossan, owner of EBC Training Centers, and this is Purpose Over Points, a podcast filmed inside EBC, the heart of Washington's premier training center. Purpose Over Points stands apart from your traditional basketball podcasts by blending coaching education, mentorship, storytelling, and the importance of family and community connection. It's not just about developing athletes, it's about developing people. Here we talk about life after basketball and what happens when the points stop adding up and the real scoreboard becomes your character, your purpose, and your growth. Welcome to another episode of Purpose Over Points. I'm your host, Nick Crossan. Today is a very special guest, not only for myself, but for our family, personally and EBC. Allen Tate, he's a former collegiate basketball player from Hobbs, New Mexico. Played at Hobbs High School where he helped win the 2008 state championship. After high school, he spent 2 years at Lamar Community College, winning a region championship his sophomore season. Allen finished his collegiate career at Seattle University, competing at the Division I level, where now his journey reflects a strong work ethic, teamwork, and a love for the game. Please welcome my man, Mr. Allen Tate.
Yes, sir.
Sir, baby, welcome.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Anytime,
Yes,
bro. Anytime.
Yep.
I do want to start off by saying, this is going to be a ton of fun, man. This is reflect on your journey, our brotherhood, but personally, this means a lot to me. You mean the world to me. God has put you in our life, and I believe our paths have crossed before we even met. We always talk about the Kingwood Classic, and we talk about all these tournaments.
Bakersfield.
Almost went to Bakersfield. Yeah. God puts people in your life, and you are a reason. I think you are definitely a brother. I'm close as you as I am to anybody, really in my family, dog. And I love you. I love your wife, Sarah. She means the world not only to us. She's an auntie to our kids. You're an uncle to our kids, and I love you to death, man. And I'm excited to tap in and get into your journey a little bit.
Obviously, the feeling is mutual, man. It's almost 12 years in the game with you, man, and it's been nothing but fun. And I look forward to today, man, and I love you with all my heart, brother.
Absolutely.
Couldn't ask for any better relationship, man.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about that as far as not only relationships, but you've been doing this, for 12 years with us, going on 12, and we were raised off loyalty.
Right.
And I think that with your journey, you being a huge part of the success, to be honest with you, if not the most important part of what our program is and what we stand for, is because of who you are as a man, but more importantly, how you mentor kids, how you're there for them, you show up for them. There's a lot of intangibles that you bring to the table that I don't take for granted, that I learn from consistently. But when you kind of reflect on maybe not only just the 10 years from Allen Tate, I want you to kind of think about what does Purpose Over Points mean for you today?
It's choosing why you're doing something over what you can get from it.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of people, they're searching for whether it's they want, everybody to know who they are. They want more money, their status, like I said earlier. But I don't know, it's just, for me, it's just being connected to those kids that want to really put in work, giving back. And in Bible study, maybe a month ago, I was putting a big emphasis on, giving out, giving grace and giving out what you can do and your talents to people, right? And for me, I feel I do a good job of putting smiles on faces, making people feel comfortable. So I want to make sure that I can bring that to EBC or bring that to somebody's day or whatever the situation is. So I think points over purpose can not only be in the basketball sense, but I feel that you can throw that into everyday lives as well, right?
Absolutely. Let's talk about Allen Tate's early journey in his life.
Right.
Let's take it back to Hobbs, New Mexico. Yeah. Tell me what it was like to be growing up in Hobbs, and obviously you know what it's like to be now more. You've been here for 12 years in Washington State, but being in Hobbs, New Mexico was a lot different. Talk about what that was like growing up.
Man, ashy, nappy-headed, and outside. Outside all day, right? We were even talking about this the other day too, about how much time we had on our hands when we were younger, right? Where you felt you were outdoors more, where you were riding your bikes with your friends, and that's what I grew up on, man. I grew up obviously, every town, every city has their own neighborhoods to where it's good or bad or whatever you say, right? But you make the most of whatever situation you're in, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm coming from a single parent home. Obviously, it wasn't designed like that on purpose. My dad passed when I was 8, about to turn 9 in a couple of days, right? So, and that hit the family hard on that. So like, but outside of that, man, I felt like we had a great childhood. I mean, we were out all day. We were fighting, playing, laughing. You know, we used to put socks on our fists and bundle them up and then like box each other. Like, you know, we used to do just a bunch of crazy stuff. But like growing up in Hobbs was just like, it was just simpler times. I feel like it was simpler times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely rough, but simpler times.
For sure. No, for sure. I don't want to shy away from your father and your family. I got the opportunity, obviously, meet your mom, meet some of your brothers, like obviously know Q, know your auntie, and you got a really special family. And that obviously comes from the core, from who your dad and who your mom are. And talk about maybe some principles that those, you know, your mom and dad rooted into you guys, because you guys are really close, and it's fun to see from the outside looking in and kind of be able to trickle in there and see how it's like. But man, you got a blessed family. And talk about that a little bit, some principles.
I remember my dad when at a younger age, right? Like just having conversations with him. And it's like, if it was a situation, if somebody didn't like your brother, they don't like you. Like you can't hang out with somebody that doesn't like your family, right? Like that's just a weird thing to do, right? And I mean, obviously you got to be your brother's keeper. Like he threw that in our heads every day. You have to be your brother's keepers. Him and his brother were real close, super close, and me and both of my brothers are super close, right? Like similar, like me and you, right? Like so we talk all the time. Like if even it could be years I don't see him, we talk on the phone, but when I see him, we're comfortable in person. Like I never left him, right? It's just one of those situations where like they made sure that we were always together, that we do things together. They didn't overemphasize it, but they made sure that we had to spend some time with each other and not just do our own thing, just put us in different bubbles to where, oh, well, that's his personality and that's his personality. Like, no, you guys can go find things to do with each other and go outside and play, right? So we were definitely close all growing up.
I love that. It's funny because we talk about this all the time with purpose over points, but the root of how you were raised, it's amazing how it's become who you are now.
Right.
You talk about the loyalty part, you know, your dad talking about, no, this is your brother. Like, you're going to rock with him. If they don't like you, they don't like your brother.
Right.
Which is a loyalty. That's a loyalty thing, and that's a factor. That's I think something that you carry every day in what you do. And then you have that trust and brotherhood. Talk about that part, how it's impacted your growth of who you are right now.
It's just one of those, like, you know, you're going to have somebody that holds you accountable. They give you the real, right? Like a lot of the times, like in society now, like, you know, we kind of like we want to bubble wrap everything, and we don't want to like tell everybody the real. Like if I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do, like let me know. Like you know, like I make mistakes like everybody else, right? Like my doo-doo stinks just like anybody else's, right? Like, you know, this is how the world works, right? So like a lot of people, like, I don't know, they're uncomfortable with those uncomfortable conversations, and like, and with my brothers and even with you, right? Like I know that I have that somebody's gonna hold me accountable. Like if I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do, which, you know, like obviously it's all relative, but if I'm doing something that's not gonna benefit my family, or when I was younger, if I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do, like I know I have you to hold me accountable as a brother. I know my brothers will hold me accountable. I think that's huge, right? I think that's huge.
Absolutely. Is there anything from your childhood that you look back and just sticks out like a core memory that you're just like, man, this is something that just sticks out to me, that's probably either helped me grow or just overall fun memory that you had as a kid? Man, I'm sure you've got lots, but just anything particular, it's like, man, this is something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that can get me in trouble. Well, no, man, but oh man, honestly, just like being able to be a kid outdoors, man. Like I know I won't give my kids these freedoms, so I know it's crazy. But like, man, just like, you know, your parents, like my mom, just like she's off work, she's in the house, but she may be cooking. But me and my brother, 3-4 blocks down, we ain't supposed to be. Just, you know, riding bikes with the friends up the street, whether we hanging out with Tyran or we're at my boy Derek's house with those guys, right? Like either we have family around the corner or we got our friends in a small area, right? Because we lived in the town, so it was nothing to get to like somebody's house. Like now it's a 30-40 plus minute drive, right? One of the boys want to hang out with one of their basketball friends, like you have to plan it. You know what I mean? It's not a situation where you can just be like, hey, you know, what are you guys doing right now, right? But for me, it's just like being able to have access to my friends, just being very free, man. Like just being able to live, and just those times were simple.
Yes.
You know, so.
Yeah. We talk about that, right? Like how simple our lives were,
Right.
how chaotic life is now for kids. But
It's crazy.
it's amazing how, as we're both fathers, like, I don't know if we would let our kids do what we used to be doing. Like, you just can't do it no more.
You can't.
Right? But you try to find that fine line to balance that. Our kids are outside. They are doing those things. But when we were growing up, like, your parents weren't out there with you. It was your friends, like you're talking about. Or
watching
family.
each other.
Yeah, you're watching each other.
Right.
Mom and dad are at home either cooking or hanging out.
Oh, hanging out.
And just hanging out with their friends.
Right.
Whatever it is. And, like, they trust the fact that you're going to be home by the time that light goes off.
Exactly.
At nighttime, you better be home.
You better be home.
It's whooping time.
Hey, belt to ass.
Yes, yes.
And that's one thing too, man. Like, I mean, I remember getting butt whoopings too. Nothing like, like, you know, like abusing, right?
No.
Like, just like,
Well,
you don't
everybody calls it abuse.
Everybody calls it abuse these days, right? But you don't spare the rod, right? Like, you need to hear no, right? Like I think that's the problem too, right? Like, people don't want to hear no nowadays, right? Or don't know how to deal with no, right? And I was that same kid too. I ain't gonna lie. Like, sometimes, you know, I'll get emotional, like, and it's hard to regulate those emotions. But I definitely had that accountability before, like, my mom or my brothers would be like, you know, snap your butt out of it. But I do think that,
like, the accountability piece, right? Like, you knew something was coming.
You knew something was
when
coming.
you messed up, when you got home, something was coming. Like, and I think that's kind of something that I feel like, I want to call it lacking, but I feel like there's an area where kids don't feel that accountability when they go home. They kind of know, like, oh, I'm just going to get my phone taken away, or I'm just going to, but I'm going to get it back in the next 24 hours.
Exactly.
So it's like, there's no, like, oh man, like, when I tiptoe in this home, I got to sneak in. Because I know for a fact I'm getting whooped.
Man, armpits, you got the little needles in your armpits, now you got to poop out of suddenly, right? Like, that's the feeling I had when I knew I did something wrong.
Exactly. I want to tap into, like, the development side.
Right.
For all the listeners that don't know, you are the best trainer around. I don't care what anyone says. There's nobody better than you. And we're believing, like, getting our hands dirty, being in the gym with kids, and also just doing it for the right reasons in the right way. We've spent hours in the gym together. And I think one of the things that we always talk about is obviously development and what that looks like, constantly growing each other. But what do you think most parents and athletes misunderstand about development in general?
They just want instant gratification. Like, they think it's just like a PlayStation, right? Like, you could just build your character, you spend all day on the game, and then now they're good, right? Or they just expect that one training just to go down, or they seen you train a few kids and that kid was good, and they're like, okay, well, my kid's supposed to be right there, right at it, right? So I think just that instant gratification, not, like, I know it's cliche, but that process, I know the 76ers killed that phrase, but, like, just trusting the process, right? Like, I think a lot of parents, like, they want that instant gratification for their kid right away, instead of, like, going through the fire, trusting whatever that trainer's doing. Like, you chose that trainer for a reason, just kind of stepping out, right? And not being that sideline parent to where, like, okay, your kid's being trained, but now you're also training that kid with the trainer instead of letting the trainer do his job, right? So it's one of those.
Why do you think so many people are cutting corners and they want to chase the exposure part instead of sitting there and actually, we're talking about showing up every day and developing? We see a lot of kids, obviously, and not knocking on programs that have EYBL, whatever the situation is, they're trying to chase something.
Right.
But you see a lot of kids go for that, and they fall in love with it, or they fall in love with the fact that they think that's going to be the reason why they're going to get to that next level. Why do you think people are continuing to fall into that chase and that rabbit hole?
Man, it can be a multitude of things. I think mostly, like, a lot of business mindset of parents, like, think, okay, exposure. Let me throw my kid out there. Let me throw them. And they're just going to any camp they can without really knowing what the camp is about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're just throwing their kid in there, like, oh, this, you know, like, they're supposed to have this, that, and the third there. So they're just throwing their kids in there without doing too much research in it. And just expecting everything to work instead of, like, just trusting the process, like we said earlier, right? Like, I know exposure is everything, but, like, if you throw your kid in a situation that they're not ready and they've been exposed, and you got them to this level off of whatever connections you pulled, and they still have to play at the end of the day.
Yes.
Like, they still have to go out there, play defense, go out there, score the basketball, or make great decisions. They still have to do those things.
Yes.
So, like, does the process happen?
Yes.
Like, God don't make any mistakes, man. Like, if they're working their butts off and they're in the gym and they're grinding, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Whether it's on the basketball side, or they're going to figure out who they are as a person and what they are capable of doing. Right. But they're going to learn something along the way.
Yes.
Right. And it goes back to the points over purpose deal. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I get to see you every day. I see you from afar. I see you close. But I want people to understand, from the listeners to people watching, you put a lot of time and energy into this and a lot of effort. Talk about how you grew as a trainer and to become this elite trainer that you are. What are some things that you're doing behind the scenes that people aren't seeing to get to these kids as far as developing them?
I kind of obsess over the training part a little bit of it, like, because with each kid, like, I imagine, what could this kid be like? Okay, what moves can I see this kid making in the game, and what kind of style would they play? And even if it's like something that's outside of their realm, right? Like, it just use my imagination, like, okay, this is where we're trying to get them, and this is where they're at. Like, you know, how can we put everything else in between? Right? So like, I think about those things. And even when I do groups, even if it's the group and some kid might have something another kid don't, and it might seem like, okay, this group doesn't make sense, but it's like, okay, well, I like how this kid run with the basketball in a straight line, the way they rotate the dribble, right? And I like how this kid, you know, like move side to side laterally, right? Like, and like, okay, well, they need to see each other and they're not too far off, right? And like, they might be different people or might be different basketball players as far as like, you know, one might be a good ball handler, one might not be, but like they get to learn from each other, right? One thing, you might be good at shooting and I might be good attacking the rim. I get to watch you every time, how you approach shooting, your form, everything. Okay, let me steal that, right? And then you see me do something, you're like, okay, I like that, let me steal that. And instead of just, you're going against a cone, and then it's just like, man, you can bust that cone ass. Hey, gave him 30. But they moved back in the game, so you know what I mean? So like, I think, I think like for me, it's been like, you know, just trying to figure out different ways to be creative as a trainer, how to get these kids engaged when, like, you know, some days they might not be in it. Maybe I need to make them laugh that time, right? Like, just figuring out, like, it's not just about like, okay, like I got these kids and they got to learn basketballs. How can I make them better too? Just better in general, right? Like, how can I give them a better day? Just as simple as that too, right? Like, some of these kids come in, they had a long day with school. I'm not about to sit here and be like, God damn it, make the shot, boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but we see it a lot, though.
You see it a lot.
You see it a lot.
And I might do it jokingly, right? Like,
100%.
You know, like, it just out of nowhere, just boom, just blast you, just to make you laugh, right? Just because you need to understand, like, this is your outlet too. And you came to me because you want to get better, and hopefully you like training with me, right? Like, you think that you're having a good time as well, right? So
absolutely.
I don't know. It's just over the years, it's just been trying to figure out, like, how can I get them better, just not even as a basketball player, but as a person too. To where we can create those lifetime memories. They can pass on what they learned from me to somebody else too. Because that's the biggest thing that I wish I had. And then we talked about this too. Like, never had like training. Like, God blessed me with, like, you know, like long arms, height, athleticism, right? Like, I was able to dribble, pass, shoot, but that wasn't like I was in the gym every day. But I didn't have access to that.
So let's continue our path on the development piece. With fundamentals, we obviously stress it. But I feel like with social media kind of being fool's gold, not kind of, I think it is fool's gold, you see a lot of social media things and a lot of kids or even professional athletes, they're doing a lot of things that may not actually benefit them to transitioning into a real basketball game. You see their highlights of fundamentals not really being highlighted. It's all the glamour stuff that people get caught up in, which if I was a kid, I would watch it and probably try to emulate myself too. It's like, when we were growing up, we had certain players you looked up to, and you try to do exactly what that was. So I don't fault it, but I think fundamentals is kind of starts to be a lost art. But every time I see you train, every time I see you start everything with fundamentals, everything is based off fundamentals. What makes you think that's the way to go?
Everything is relative, right? Like, I want to try to look on the outside looking in from somebody else's perspective, okay? Like, what would make that trainer do all those ball handling? And then, like, honestly, it's just, okay, like, trying to get people's attention. It's one of those, like, I want you to see me make this kid do all these flashy ball handling drills, so you come train with me. And like, I get it, but like, and that's part of the reason why I don't really post my drills. And it's not because I'm trying to hide my drills from everybody. It's because I'm in it, man. I'm like, I'm trying to get you better. Like, I don't like, I know it hurts me and it hurts us as a business as far as like not advertising, but I don't care. Like, I want to like get the kid better. Like, I want to focus on the development part. So like, I don't know, it's like all the ball handling stuff. It's like, you can do that, but how often do you see on the college level guys over dribbling? Right? You see it in the NBA, but how often do those guys on the college, like, you got all these college athletes, how many of these guys are making it to the NBA? Right? Like, you only got a certain amount of spots. And then now we're talking about overseas guys. And then we're not even talking about what they're over there doing. So like, it's just like, when I watch basketball, It's just like I want to clean it up a bit because
Yep.
I see overseas, like I just said, I want to make sure that kids have good footwork, that they know how to work in triple threat, because that's a lost art.
Yes,
you
it
see
is.
kids nowadays, like they're trying to jab, they're pointing the ball out like this, and it's
Yep.
like, and they're kicking their foot out. And it's like, man, we don't even know how to jab.
Yep.
Like we don't even know basics triple threat, but man, you got a crazy hezzy. Man, your hezzy game is out of goddamn control, boy. Hey, out of control. But you don't know how to do simple triple threat.
No.
You can't turn around, face up. You can't jab, cross step, and go without traveling, without
Yep.
picking up your pivot.
Yep.
Right? We don't know how to do these things.
Yeah.
But man, hey, your hezzy is just ridiculous, right? Like it's just like, man.
We see it all the time.
See it all the
bro.
time.
All the time.
All the time. So I just like putting the emphasis on footwork, putting the emphasis on the basics. I think that's what will help create better basketball players and,
Yep.
and help us combat against the overseas guys. I mean, like that's realistically what people need to look at. Like that's going to be a new deal. Like we're not only fighting for spots from only Americans.
Yeah.
There's guys all over the place.
Everywhere.
Basketball is global.
Yep.
Yeah. So
More than it's ever been.
and it's more important that we continue to work on fundamentals and then add all the extra stuff with it.
Absolutely.
Then we got monsters at that
Absolutely.
point, right?
Absolutely. There's levels to it, right?
It is
That's
levels
why
to
you
it.
start in kindergarten, you go all the way to 12th grade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't skip grades.
You can't skip.
You're going to have to figure out how to get the fundamentals down.
Yeah, but then you'll watch somebody's first ever training and you'll watch them do something crazy ball handler-wise. And it's like, why are we doing that?
Right.
Like, you're just training that kid for the first time.
Yeah.
And he's in the third grade.
Right.
Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. So,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think even if he was in 8th grade, you're training for the first time. Get a good base of what he can do footwork-wise or what she can do footwork-wise, right?
Absolutely.
And then start from there. But I think the fundamental part, just learning how to play out a triple threat, I think that's huge.
Yeah. Yes. I want to talk about just like purpose over points in action, obviously from the coach's side of things. When I watch you and I observe you and I learn from you, you do amazing with obviously the connection of the player and the coach. But to get to those points, you're teaching accountability, you know, their body language, I know we're big on, and then more importantly, the response to failure. When those moments come with each kid, whether you're training them or coaching them, talk about how you help them understand what those core values are for you and how you teach them through those moments of failure.
Right. The biggest thing is like, you know, you try to get to their level. Because I mean, like, even when you're playing, you get frustrated when you miss shots. You're human, right? Like, I mean, any coach in the world, we all say the same thing, and it's all cliche. When somebody misses a shot, you good, man? Why are you getting so upset? Like, you know why you're getting upset. You get upset when you miss shots, right? So now just getting to that point, and try to help them redirect that, right? And use it not like for a selfish goal, but for your team's benefit, right? So in the sense of like, I'll use like myself, say if I'm in a game and I shot and I got upset and you come up to me and you see me actively on the court acting up, right? So now this is your chance how you respond to that, right? Like either you can yell at me in front of everybody, right? And obviously I'm not saying you don't. You hold me accountable, right? Like you hold me accountable. Hey, get back into it, right? Or you can either blow it out of proportion or you can help me snap out of it, right? So what I like to do is like, if I do see a kid body language wise and I make eye contact with them, right? And like they're dropping their shoulders and I'm like, I'll shoot it real quick. Like, hey, stay with it, get out of here, right? Like, stop looking at me. And like, you know, hey, stay with it. And that's my, hey, you know, that's my phrase, man. Hey, shout out to Shaheen, the dream. Stay with it, man. Like, that's my thing, man. Like, cause staying with it, like, think about what that applies to in life, right? Like, like you can be, like, as an adult, right? You can be having a bad day and like, you just feel like nothing's going right, right? Like you might have messed something up at work. You might have hit the curb trying to park, you know, like, and that's the last thing you need, right? Like, and the biggest thing is like some days you want to give up, man. But like honestly, you gotta stay with it, dog. Like I know it's cliche, but like the biggest thing is staying with it. And like that's what I be trying to tell the kids when I see that they're making certain faces, because you can see body language, right?
Absolutely.
You see that face, you see that coming. Like the biggest thing I try to tell them is to stay with it, but obviously just saying that is not gonna help.
Right.
Then I pull them out to the side, I try to get down to their level, and then I try to let them understand, like, look, you acting like this is definitely hurting the team. Like, not even hurting the team. Now you're on the bench talking to me instead of in the game.
Yes.
Right? So now you're taking stuff away from yourself because you're so worried about one play when it's the second quarter.
Exactly.
You still have a full game ahead of you. Right? So like now we're living on one possession. When the beauty about basketball is you might have messed up one play, but you get the next possession to fix it. Whether it's on defense or on offense, right? And it's right away. Right? Like getting back on defense, stopping them from making a play. That contributes to that, right?
Yes,
like, and that's a plus.
Yes.
Right? Like we needed that.
Yes.
Because if you're in your head and now they're getting transition, they get a bucket, man, that can be a floodgates to something bad.
Absolutely.
And you already know what time that is. If your team getting momentum and they're gone, A timeout sometimes might even save you.
No.
Right?
It's hard to get that back.
Especially depending on the kid too, right? If that's a leader that's having that attitude,
Yes.
right? Now everybody else, team is lost.
Team is lost.
So I think the biggest thing is like trying to get on their level, right? Because like, I mean, obviously like we want to parent them like we were parented when we got older, right?
For
like
sure.
or coach them like we were coached.
Yeah.
That hard nose.
There's a balance to it.
But there's a balance to it. I do think we still keep that. We keep that hard nose balance, but we got to also bring it to the new age too and get to their level.
100%.
Right? Try to like, not coddle them, but like tell them like, hey man, you got this, dog. Like,
Yes.
hey man, pick that up. Dude.
Yes.
Hey,
Building the confidence in them, right?
Right,
Because,
building
I
that
feel like
confidence.
coaches, when we were growing up, they were not going to install no confidence in
Man,
you.
my coach, famous words in high school, you're pissing against the wind, Tate. I'm like, damn, for real? Like, hey, you're pissing against the wind. I'm like, man, I got to figure my shit out.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about, when we're talking about the newer generation, you can call it old school to new school, whatever people want to say, the cliche stuff. Talk about protecting the kid and not just the player. You know, we're big on developing the overall kid in general. Talk about some situations or some things that you do that you help kids get through those things too. Right. Whether you're using basketball as the tool in the vehicle, or you're just, like you said, you're filling the room, you see a kid walk in for training or practice, you could tell that like they just flat out have had a bad day and you're just going to pour into them. Talk about some things that, you know, you bring to the table, because one thing that I learned from you right away is your energy. It don't matter what's going on in your personal life, which is a huge, strong characteristic for you. You don't let anything affect you when it comes to you being present at your workplace, which is a really hard thing to do. But talk about how you bring that to the table, because kids see it, we see it. What makes you come to that?
Right. Man, honestly, like, I don't know, like, it's just a sense of like wanting to be there for others that I didn't have, right? Like, I didn't have that mentor, right? Like, I had my older brother, he's like 9 years older, but like he was starting his life too, right? Like he just had his kids and like he's starting his life. And then my other brother, he's only a year and a half, 2 years older than me. So it's not like he can be that example too, right? So, and it's not like we had older guys in the community, right, that used to pull us over and be like, hey, look, this is what you need to do, right? Like, or this is how you need to get it done. So I think for me, it's like trying to just be present and be that light to others, right? Like I said earlier, like a couple months ago in Bible study, it was really putting a huge emphasis on sharing what you can do, like your gifts, sharing your gifts and like, and being a light for others, right? And like, and try to uplift others, right? And like, I really try to uphold that part of it, even when I go home too, even if I'm having a bad day, I can't be like, okay, I done gave all these kids, Coach Allen, high energy, happy face, and then go home and get my kids, you know, like upset and just get on them. So like, you know, like it's another one too, right? I got home and then I got to be dad and I got to be super excited dad too, right? And then, and then that reflects off my wife. Then I can't be that to her, right? So now I got to, right? So like, it's constant trying to figure out how to deal with not even other kids' emotions, but your emotions too, right? Like you try to figure those things out, and nobody's human. Like you have mistakes and you have days where you don't feel the best, but it's just keeping that perspective of like, if I can love like God, if I can care like God, then I could hopefully pass that to others too. Because I was talking to my boys, right? And like after we did Bible study and like, and I asked Mason first, and I was like, how many people believe in God in your school, in your class? And he was like, man, and he was like, this is crazy, Dad. He's like, 2 people. We had a whole conversation about it. And I'm like, man. So then I asked Xavier, I'm like, how many, buddy? And he was like, well, me, this other kid, and this other kid, and that's it. But he was like, this one kid said the guy wasn't real. And it's like, man, and it's like, and as parents, we look back and we're like, man, this world is changing. Why is this world like this, right? And it's like, well, because we took God out of it. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. So like, obviously.
People are scared to talk about it for some reason. I don't know why, but.
Exactly.
But you're right.
We took God out of everything, right? And like, and I'm no saint. I'm not about to sit here and be like, I'm just a theologian and I'm just in my Bible like that, right? Like, I try my best.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, right?
Perfect. And God don't want you to be perfect.
And God, and like the reason why he sent Jesus was, you know what I mean? Like, so it's for us to be saved. So I don't know. I just think the biggest thing is like, I just try to be aware, because like, man, like everybody lives their life. Everybody's feeling a certain type of way about something, right? Whether they're feeling happy, whether they're feeling sad, right? Like it's all relative. So like I try to put myself in their shoes in the sense of like, okay, well, I know they're having a bad day. How can I get on that level? Well, he's happy. Let me ride this wave with him too, right? Like, or whatever the situation is. But it's like, I just try to like take every person by case, you know, if that makes any sense. I know it sounds weird, but I just try to look at it from a different perspective, because not everybody's going to be 100%. Everybody have good days and bad days. So it is what it is, man. I just try to look from it from perspective of like, how can I help you today, right? Like, and
It's huge.
and it'll help me too if I can help you. I'm looking at it like, oh shit, like, yeah, we good now,
Exactly.
right? So
exactly,
I
and
don't
it
know.
fills your cup, right? Like
It does.
when you see that kid come on and maybe had a bad day or whatever the situation is, and he
Right.
completely energies change within the 45 minutes,
Right.
or hour and 15. It don't
Exactly.
matter. They come out and they forgot about everything that's been
Everything.
going on. That's one thing that I love watching you do, because you fill so many people's cups up, including myself. But like, you just fill cups, man. Like, you're a cup filler. There are people in life that take the water out of the cup, and there are people that'll just take their own water and fill it up. And you are 100% someone that just gives.
Man, it's the culture that we have here, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I think, like, just over the years, especially after the takeover too, when we got to this place too, I felt like this is when we were rolling out. And I think you've done a good job of, like, even with the little messages up top, just like, you know, like when you see those things, like just seeing them, not even if you're reading them every day, but just seeing them subconsciously, it's just in your brain, right?
Absolutely.
It's changing you being in here. So
Absolutely.
I think just the culture helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. It makes it easier.
It does. Makes it a ton easier. One last question when we're talking about this purpose over points in action. If basketball were to disappear tomorrow, basketball is no longer a thing, what would your athletes still have because of who Coach Allen has installed in them?
I would say definitely work ethic. We hold them accountable here. Like, we get on their heads. I mean, whether it's excessive to parents or not, I mean, like, if we're not paying attention, we have to, right? Like, you learn fire is hot. I mean, you don't touch it again, right? But if you keep touching it, you realize you're making a huge mistake. So we have to be that fire to a certain extent, right? So I feel like work ethic, that blue collar mentality, because it's not like we're gifted with just the best athletes in the world in this area, which is fine, right? Like, but surrounding areas might, right? But these kids come in and they know what they need to do and they work hard. So I think work ethic, like I said, that blue collar attitude, and just that never back down mentality, being cheerful, right? Just learning how to, like, love others. Hopefully we can get to that point where everybody's at that point too, right? I feel like when we get groups and we have cores that stick through their whole program, those kids always either give back in a sense, and whether they're coming back and working for EBC and camps or whatever, or they're doing things in other aspects to help others, right?
Absolutely.
So I feel like just that blue collar mentality and that grace, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We talk about the scoreboard of life, and we just talk about everyone's scoreboard is different. The lights shut off at different points when it comes to their basketball career, but their lights are brightened because now they're finding a new journey in their life, whether it be coaching, whatever it is. There's something new that lights up their scoreboard. Obviously, for us, it's our family and being around our kids and our wives. Those are things that just brightens everything up. When you reflect on things, where do you feel like Allen Tate is winning right now?
Man, I think I'm a pretty good dad.
Yeah.
I think I do a good job.
You're an amazing
like,
dad.
I know that sounds crazy to say, like, yeah, I'm a good dad, but like, not like, and I like, man, when my dad passed, like, cause I know how he was, man. Like, he was a good dude, and like, you know, always like throw us in the air, play with us, take us to places, right? Like, it's just always a good time. And then like, I remember that. I vividly remember that, right? And like, I remember how he used to put a smile on my mom's face, right? And like, I remember those things. So for me, it was like, I wanted that, especially after he passed, right? Like, 'cause I can remember that day like it was yesterday. I was 8 years old, and like, I remember that. And I remember, like, you know, like, man, like, one day I want to be a dad like that. Like, I want to be a dad like that. And like, even at the end of my basketball career, like, Mason was coming, and then we had like a little thing in Mexico that I couldn't win to. And I just decided to ultimately, like, you know, just like, me and Sarah buckled down and we just stayed in Seattle. We didn't move anywhere else to get closer to family. We just kept it here. And like, I knew I wanted to be a present dad. Like, there was never a situation where, like, you know, like, just have something and not be a part of it, right? Like, me and Sarah's relationship was great to the point where we wanted to have Mason, and he came, and then Xavier, and then obviously the bunch. But it's like a situation where I knew I wanted to be a dad. I wanted to be that. I wanted to wake up. I wanted to play with these little guys. I wanted to play fight. I wanted to discipline them. I wanted to help them grow into an adult. I want to see them when they fail, to help them get back up, right? Like, and not only help them get back up, but teach them how to get back up. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
a big part of it.
That's a big part of it, right?
Part
like,
of it.
sometimes seeing them fall and you just want to, but it's like, no, get your ass up, man. But in your heart, I'm like, oh dear, oh dear. The first thing that come out of my mouth, hey man, get your ass up, boy, you all right? Let's go.
Exactly.
Right? But hey, in the heart, I'm like, you good, bro? Like, you know.
I want to give you this hand,
but it's just one of those, man. You got to let them get up. But I wanted that challenge. I wanted that challenge, and I still want that challenge.
No, absolutely. Well, you're an amazing dad, so I don't think you would say like you're doing okay. You're doing amazing, man. Like your kids are phenomenal kids, and not only you're an amazing dad, but you're an amazing uncle to our kids. You're a second father to a lot of kids that come into your life that step into this program. I think a lot of people look up to you, so I don't want you to discount that at all, because I know for a fact your father is going to be, when he looks down every day at you and every second he gets to see your beautiful family, like he is nothing but that big smile. I guarantee you he's extremely happy.
I appreciate that,
what you're doing, man. So we always are talking about reflecting, right? Every season, everything of life, we're always trying to talk about to each other just about reflection. Like, where can we improve? Basketball, of course, but like more importantly, we're like, all right, what are we doing as a father or as a husband or as a coach? Like constantly having those check-ins with each other. Talk about some things that when you do those things, how do you process that? Like, what are you checking in on for? Like, how is Allen Tate doing mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Those are, some categories that are important to you, but I know there's more to it. Would love to hear more about how you process and what you constantly looking we call it mirror moments. You look in the mirror.
Yeah, I try to how selfish was I this week? You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds weird, but did I help my wife out with little things that she need around the house, right? Or like my boys ask me like, Dad, look. Did I did I look? Or how many times did they ask, right? Or EBC, I'm like thinking like, okay, like, damn, that was a shitty day at practice. Like, what did I do wrong, right? Instead of like, man, these kids, and then sometimes the kids come in and like they're not having a good day and like they're gonna be crazy too, right? But in a sense of like, okay, what could I have done to wrangle them? Yeah, they came in like this too, but it's also my job too to do a better job of like wrangling these guys and getting them better too, instead of having practices like that, right? Or even like, like my patience too, right? Like I know it seems like I have a lot of patience, but when I'm driving, sometimes I'm a different monster, right? Like how can I not be a jackass in traffic, right? Like, cause that has consequences of itself, right? You go to the wrong person, that might turn into like a gunfight, right? So like I just try to look back and be like, how can I improve consistently and not be so like focused on me, right? Cause like a lot of the times, like, like everybody's like, oh, I got to do this. I got to get this new achievement. I got to get this new house. I got to get this new, Like, but did I help somebody today?
Yes.
In my heart, did I know like, okay, like it was an inconvenience to me, but did I go out there and help that person?
Yes.
Right? Whether it's a kid going down, like, whatever the situation is, or a kid feeling bad, like, some of these kids their parents are going through divorces, right? And like sometimes you got to talk them off the ledge in situations to be their psychologist, right? Like I don't know how many late night talks I've had to have with some of these guys, right? Just as far as like whether it's confidence or family problems, right? So like, I don't know, it's just one of those, like I try to look back and reflect and see like, okay, was I selfish or did I do enough? Like, I don't want to be that person that just only worry about like, like what I got going on every single time.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Like I'm taken care of. Like God blessed me with air in my lungs, roof over my head. Like I'm good. But like, how can I make my wife happy? And like, how can I make my kids happy too, right? Like my joy is going to come if I'm doing the right things. And if I'm not, then you're going to feel it, right? Like I'm just a firm believer of that. So life is going to be a roller coaster no matter what, but like, how can you give grace to others is going to ultimately define you.
Absolutely. I learned this from a therapist that Brian and I go to for marriage counseling, which I'm a big believer in, but he talked about vials. So like, everybody has different vials in life, right? In a relationship, a friendship, or brotherhood, I think it's important to know what type of vials are important to you. So I know that you can say, hey, Nick, my family vial right now is low. I need to be able to do this. Or I haven't got any time off. This part of my life is low. That vial's low. How can you help fill it? When you think about Allen Tate, what are some vials that are important to you to make sure that they stay fulfilled and full?
Man, honestly, just making sure that my guys are good, my wife. If they're happy, obviously, like I said, it's all relative, but if they're taken care of, I'm honestly good. I'm a simple guy. Like, I'm honestly simple. Like, doesn't take much to make me happy. Like, I'm from a town, so it's not like I'm used to all this, like, going out every night. You know what I mean? Like, I'm from a town, so I grew up with a simple life. So as long as, like, my family's taken care of, and, like, the biggest thing that I grew up with is, like, just the memory of death, I guess, right? Like, whether it was my dad passing or a friend, friends, or when we got in high school, my grandparents, whatever, right? Like, you're surrounded by those things. So as long as everybody's healthy at the time, right? Like, and we can control the things we control.
Yes.
Like, I'm really solid.
Yeah.
I'm really solid.
I love that. Let's take a reflection from 2025 to 2026 now. I heard this question on a different podcast that actually Brianna listened to, and she asked me this question. I thought, man, this is a really good question to ask people.
Right.
Because it made me think like, man, what would people say? So the question is, pretend that you have an audience around Allen Tate, and they have seen you through 2025, and that audience is screaming at you to do one thing differently. What would it be from 2025 to change for 2026? What would that audience be yelling at you to change?
It'd be whoever I'm training first to show up on time. I'm first training, Coach Van-Day. I'm pushing everybody 5 minutes back. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Live in Lake Stevens. But that 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. That's hilarious. That's
I'm sorry.
hilarious.
I love y'all, man. You know it. Damn, but 1,000%.
Let's flip that though.
Right.
What do you think? There's one thing that the audience be cheering for you because you do so much.
Man, I think just like showing up. Like, I might not be out there on time, but I'm there when you need me.
Yeah.
Like, at 1,000%. Like, and I try to be there all the time. Like when you need me. Like, whether like it's mentally, whether it's like we need to get on the court, right? Like, I try to be there when you need me. So hopefully that can look at me and cheer for that.
I love it. We talk about fear versus growth.
Right.
Obviously, people call it New Year's resolutions, whatever.
Right.
Like, I think you are who you are. You got to continue to look in the mirror and figure out who that is, whether it's a new year or it's a new day, whatever you are. There's always fear versus it because growth is behind it.
Right.
You always got fear behind it, no matter what you're doing.
No question.
Talk about that. What are some maybe growth moments that you have coming for 2026? Fear is such a strong word for it. It's not really fearful, but there's an uncertainty about it. Yeah. What do you have for 2026 maybe that's like you want to stretch yourself out to become?
Yeah, just stepping outside comfort zone, right? Maybe like dabbling in things I never did before. Like, even in the past, like, I mean, when we started our grind and we had the 9 to 9 days, like in between that, we both did extra work, right? Like, you did the packaging for Amazon, and I was like, I did the asphalt job, and I was like at Ross, right? Like, it's just like, and not even that, just like even business interests, like just not being like, just so like just narrow-minded too, right? Like, just because, you fear the unknown, right? Everybody fears failure.
Absolutely.
But we're quick to tell kids, like, hey,
yes, we are.
like, you gotta take a chance, right?
Yep.
You never know until like we were quick to tell kids those things, but do we practice what we preach?
Yep.
Right. So like, I guess practicing what I preach.
Yeah.
There you
Absolutely.
go. There you go. Practice what you preach, because it's easy to tell somebody else to do something.
It is.
Are you doing those things?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, practicing what you preach.
As we close here, what advice do you have for young trainers or coaches as you've kind of gone through this process, done this for 11 plus years? For anyone that's just trying to start in training and into coaching, what is some advice that you would have for them?
Don't get so caught up in watching like other trainers and like, okay, I like that training and I'm gonna throw it in my training, right? Like, when you look at trainings and you look at a trainer doing something, okay, how can you apply that to the kid and what would that drill mean to them? Yeah. Right? Like, okay, even if I'm doing like my footwork drill and it's like, and we're traveling every possession, but it's like, okay, well, it's purpose. Like, every possession, I'm a sweep and there's a new possession. Then I'm a sweeping and there's a new possession. So I'm not just traveling up the court. Like, every time I sweep, I'm starting a new possession after that. So we're just doing a basic breakdown. So some kids you need to be literal with, and you need to explain, okay, this is only a breakdown drill. And then you explain to them too, if you're doing cone work, because I'm not opposed to cone work. I do cone work too. Absolutely. Right, because it's necessary. But I explain to them like, okay, well, this is quick ball handling drills. Like, we're working on quick hands, and this is what we're trying to accomplish with this, right? Instead of just doing drills, I would say explain the context behind it too, right? And even if they don't care and they're not listening, like, they're going to hear it. Absolutely. And then sometimes you don't think they're listening because you think they're just hearing it, but they're actually listening. So I would say explaining what you're doing and not just giving them a drill. Okay, we're coming down, I'm doing an in and out crossover and I'm a jump stop and then I'm finishing. Like, okay, so set the scene a little bit. If you're doing like an in-game move, set the scene for me. Okay, well, in certain situations, this might happen, so this happened, right? If I was to say anything to young trainers, I would be like, don't just watch something online and just throw it into your training. Just make sure that there's purpose behind what you're doing, right? Absolutely. Like, and no point intended with the show, but just make sure there's purpose behind what you're doing. Absolutely. Right? What about advice that you have for any athlete? Obviously, stats and all that, as we grew up, that's something that we obviously all focused on. I was like a hyper-focus. Like,
you want to get your points, but
Right.
now as coaches and stuff, it's like, well, you can get both of those things by playing the right way and getting your points.
Right.
But what type of advice do you have for any athlete out there that thinks that they need to focus on points or stats in order to get offers?
Right.
What are some things that you have for them?
Well, even if they wanted to focus on the points, right? Like, I think the biggest thing kids think about, like, I need the ball in my hands and I need to just come down and shoot. Like, if you want points, there's a lot of things you can do to get points, right? Like, use Steph as an example, not as far as how he shoots, but how he plays off the ball.
Exactly.
Like, looking the back door, reading the defender that's guarding me, right? Like, being, like, setting hard screens and looking to slit. There's a lot of ways you can be effective if you want to score the ball outside of just dribbling the air out of it, right? I mean, everybody at a certain point, when you get to a level, everybody can dribble past shoot.
Yes.
Whether they're 5'10" or they're 6'9",
Yep.
right? Like, at a certain point, they're gonna be studs.
Yes.
What could you do differently to separate yourself?
Yeah.
Right?
that's
Like,
huge.
what's the separator? Are you a good teammate? Right? Like, are you coachable?
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of the times, I know I look back in my career, like, I wish I was a little more coachable.
Yeah.
I wish I could not have been, like, emotional sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's what I try to tell kids nowadays. Like, I wish I would have stopped and listened, because at the end of the day, when you think about a coach, he's on your team.
Yes, he is.
Like, it's not like he's just.
There's no coach out to get you.
Yeah, like, he's not outside of it. Like,
Yeah.
he's on your team.
Yes.
Right? So, like, I wish I would have been more present and, like, listening to what the coach had to say instead of just hearing it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
like,
huge.
it's huge, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think I would tell the kids, like, just to be coachable, understand how to play the game the correct way.
Yes.
Effort. Yes. That's a skill nowadays, which
It's
is
a
ridiculous.
huge skill.
But it's like, have that compassion to want to win.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that
Yeah.
you don't want to let your teammates down. I know that sounds corny,
No,
but
it's not. It's
yeah.
a lost art. Like,
It is a lost
kids
art.
don't want to sacrifice their bodies for their
Nope.
teammates. Maybe make the extra pass.
Too cool.
Like, yeah, everything's got to be, because they're trying to do it in front of the camera. Like,
Yeah.
they're trying to get those clips so they can make it look
Right.
like they're doing something on the court. And then us as people will tap in and look at it and be like, oh,
Right.
they must be doing something, until you go talk to their coach. You're like, yeah, that was a good play. But the rest of the game,
Yeah.
they had no effort. Their body language was bad on the court.
Exactly.
Like, then you're like, oh, really? Like,
Yeah.
like we talked about, sometimes it can be fool's gold.
It can be
That
fool's
big
gold
time.
sometimes.
Let's talk about, like, when basketball's done, you want to hang them up, you want to retire.
Yeah.
What do you want Allen Tate to be remembered for?
Being there when you need them. Like I said, like, growing up, I wish we had situations where we had mentors, or where I can go to an EBC and get some training.
Yeah.
Where even if I'm not feeling my best, like, there's somebody telling me, like, hey man, like, and like, not even just in a cliche way, whether I'm talking to you like, hey man, get your shit together. Or
Yep.
I was like, hey
Yep.
buddy, like, I'm trying to make you feel like, you know, like, you feel like laugh, like, hey buddy, like, let's do it. You know, like,
Yes.
trying to make you laugh, or whatever the situation is, right? Like I wish I would have had that accountability and that leadership and that comfort of, like, okay, man, I know somebody's in my corner.
Yes.
So I would, like, I hope everybody knows, like, you know, like, okay, well, like, Allen's in my corner, like, he has my back. Like, I want to be, like, known for that. I want to be known for, like, being there for people, putting a smile on your face.
Yes.
Right? Like, anything else, you can call me a good trainer, you can call me whatever, but, like, I want to be known for, like, being a good person, and, like, you know that I gave you 100%.
Exactly.
Right? When you were around me, you knew that I was there for you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not just around.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's no agenda. I'm not trying to take nothing from you.
Nope.
I'm trying to help you.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. We talked about, like, it's a lifetime contract for,
Yeah.
for kids. And I think that's one of the unique things that you bring to the table on a daily basis is anyone that's lucky enough to be coached by you, mentored by you, they feel that, and they know that for a fact that, like, no matter where they are at in their career, the moment their ball stops bouncing for them, they know Allen Tate's in their back pocket, the fact that they can call him at any point. And they might have a question about fatherhood, which is the fun part where we're at in our lives. At
Which is
35 years
crazy.
old, like, pretty soon these kids that we've all been around since they've been 12,
A few of
11.
them already have kids in me.
Yeah, and you're like, well, wait a minute, hang on. But those are the reasons why we coach, right? And I think it's been amazing just to sit down with you and, like, chop it up. This is no different than really us just sitting down at the house chopping it up. But I absolutely love you to death, man. I respect you, how you are about your day, how you go about your life, how you are as a father, a coach, a mentor. You don't just walk it, you talk it, and you do it with grace and love behind it. So really appreciate you, my man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being on.
Man,
And,
anytime, brother.
it's always a blessing to have you around, dog. And I love you and your family to death. So thank you again for
Love you,
being
man.
here,
Thanks for having me, bro.
Anytime,
Yes,
dog.
sir.
Anytime.